Phrase 2 of verse 4. Both unnamed and named are very inscrutable, and in the inscrutable there is a deeper inscrutability. Lao Tzu uses the word inscrutability in this phrase to indicate that what we are discussing here is not the things in our daily life that we are familiar with, but an abstract and spiritual concept. In Western philosophy, there is a word called metaphysics, which seems close to the meaning of inscrutability. This type of thinking is also reflected in ancient poems. Chang Hao, a thinker in the Song dynasty, has these two lines.
Tao is beyond the tangible objects between heaven and earth, and humans' thinking is blended into the phantasmagoric of wind and cloud.
What it means is that the scope of Tao extends to the area beyond the world, and people's thinking is going with the changes of nature and trying to find its inner meaning. The mentality related with metaphysics was criticized in a certain period in China, and it was regarded as a representative word of idealism. This view is from the standpoint of materialism, and metaphysics is thought to be an unfounded utopian assumption and is synonymous with rigid thinking and stupidity. Now it seems that this view is a little bit too extreme. The classification based on either or mentality seems to be too simplistic, and it has caused a lot of valuable thoughts to suffer or to be abandoned completely. There is a story about the controversy over metaphysics and inscrutability. Aristotle has a book called Metaphysics, devoted to the discussion about the nature of the world, human thinking and human will, etc., which is close to the topic discussed by Lao Tzu. But different views had emerged about the translation of the title of the book. In the Book of Changes, one of the ancient Chinese classics, it is said that intangible thing is called the Tao, and the tangible thing is called the object. There is basically a clear definition of the Tao, which says that Tao is something that transcends the tangible world. According to this statement in the Book of Changes, a Japanese philosopher named Tetsujiro Inoue translated the title of this book written by Aristotle as Metaphysics. While Yan Fu, a Chinese thinker in the late Ching dynasty, translated the title of this book into Inscrutability, based on the Chinese cultural background. It is difficult for us to judge which translation is more accurate, but perhaps due to the strong national strength of Japan at that time, in 1910s, the Chinese people had some kind of worship mentality to Japanese, and the title of metaphysics replaced inscrutability, and metaphysics became the formal term in this field. Metaphysics is a kind of knowledge that cannot be directly proved by sensory experience, but it is a serious and rigorous discipline. Mathematics, for example, is a branch of metaphysics. Metaphysics begins by setting a few axioms, which are self-evident. Then people carry out rigorous deduction and reasoning according to these axioms to get some conclusions. If the axioms are correct and the logic of the reasoning is correct, then we can say that the conclusion will be correct. Lao Tzu pointed out that both unnamed and named belong to the category of metaphysical, and they are both invisible and intangible. That is to say, they are both very mysterious. Among them, the named has a name, while the unnamed does not even have a name, so it seems that unnamed is more mysterious than named. We might as well call unnamed as mysterious senior and named as mysterious junior. We will see the reasoning about named and unnamed and other concepts in subsequent chapters.